Hello everyone, I'm Dr. Renee Mehrra. Thank you so much for joining Zoom in with Renee. Today my guest is New York State Assemblywoman Jenifer RajKumar, and she happens to be the first Indian American woman to be elected to New York State Legislature. So congratulations, Jenifer, and more congratulations your way, because this is a very exciting time for New Yorkers. The buzzword is Diwali, even though Diwali is a few months from now, because just a couple of days ago, New York State Legislature, one voice said that Diwali as a school holiday will be enshrined in law in New York City. So that is exciting and amazing news. And the architect of this bill to designate Diwali as a school holiday in New York City the onus completely goes to New York State Assemblywoman Jenifer RajKumar. She really went through so much of trials and tribulations and challenges, but she got this historic legislation, and now it just has to be signed into law by New York State Governor Hochul. So congratulations, Jenifer. This represents inclusion, diversity, unity, and cultural recognition. So kudos to you, Jenifer. Share with us this journey of this historic legislation.
Thank you so much, Dr. Renee. And you are exactly correct. We made history this week. It was a tremendous moment for the community. And speaking of history, I'm honored to be speaking with you, Renee, because you are a history maker. And you are an example of someone of our community who got involved in politics early on and really helped lay the groundwork for our community to be powerful in government and politics. And so I was just thinking about you, because as I sit here today, I'm thinking about history. It was a decades-long fight to make Diwali a school holiday. And I was honored to win that fight for our community this week. And the whole state legislature came together. And as you said, they spoke with one voice, and they passed my legislation to make Diwali a school holiday once and for all. And this is a moment for our community where the government is saying, we see you, we recognize you. Hundreds of thousands of Hindus, Buddhists, and Jains and Sikhs will now be recognized in the eyes of the law. So it is a tremendous moment. And it was not an easy fight. As I said, the luminaries of our community had been fighting for this for decades. I became the first Indian woman elected to a New York State office, and the first Hindu elected to a New York State office. And when you elect one of your own, this is what happens. I was able to win this fight. So early in the year, in January, we brought hundreds of South Asian and Indo-Caribbeans to the state capitol. And they chanted Diwali holiday, Diwali holiday. And that chant is still echoing through the state capitol. And nobody can forget that chant. People were so overwhelmed by our community and the force that we brought to the capitol. And it was really that people power that made us victorious. Also, the support of our great mayor, New York City Mayor EricAdams, was instrumental. So last Diwali, the mayor and I laid out our vision for how we were going to make Diwali a school holiday. And we said we were going to get it done, and we did. But the mayor was very special. He was unrelenting in his support of making Diwali a school holiday. He is someone who really understands and supports our community. Also, I will tell you that our speaker, the Speaker of the Assembly, Carl Heastie, was instrumental in making this happen. Early in the Assembly session, a group of Sikh leaders came to the State Assembly, and they presented the Speaker with a sword, a ceremonial sword. And they said to the Speaker, "Thank you so much, Mr. Speaker, for your efforts to make Diwali a school holiday." Then a few weeks later, a group of Nepali Hindus came to the state capitol, and they bought a statue of Ganesha for Speaker Hasty. And they said, Ganesha is the remover of all obstacles. And I know that in presenting this Ganesha to you, obstacles will be removed and Diwali will become a holiday. And that Ganesh statue still sits on the speaker's desk. And sure enough, the speaker felt our community and he heard us and he made Diwali a holiday. In fact, early in the year, he came to my district to visit the South Asian community. And there was a real connection. He really enjoyed and understood our community. So I really want to thank the speaker for supporting my legislation, and really all of my colleagues in the state legislature for coming together and unanimously speaking with one voice to say we have to have a Diwali holiday. It was a tremendous moment, and it happened on the last day of session at midnight. And at that midnight hour, everyone gathered together and there was pin drop silence. And everybody was rapt attention. And the speaker came to the floor. And everybody was there for this historic moment. And that moment I will never forget, when I got to rise and explain my vote and just be able to explain to everybody what this means for our community. And what I said was, nothing can stop a community whose time has come. And this is the time. This is the moment that we have been waiting for.
That was a very inspiring speech. And you talked about getting this legislation at the table. And if you can't be at the table, then get yourself a folding chair. And your tenacity and your perseverance and all that hustling that you did came through. I mean, you must be feeling so gratified. What was going on in your mind when you, at 3 o'clock in the morning, when they were coming all together in unison and saying Diwali as a school holiday in New York City schools? What a feeling.
It was an indescribable moment of my life. I'm not one to get too emotional, but it really was an incredibly emotional moment. Because I would say that my faith brought me to this place. My parents came to this country with just $300 in a suitcase, like so many of our South Asian families. And my dad would often tell me Hindu stories, like the story of Arjuna. He would say, if you want to succeed, you have to be like Arjuna. He would say there were 5 Pandav brothers, and they were all asked to shoot a bird, but only Arjuna could shoot the bird. And when they asked him why, he said, because I saw only the eye of the bird. So my dad would say, you have to focus. You have to only see the eye, like Arjuna. And those are the same teachings that I used to become a state assemblywoman and also to see this legislation through. It's that focus that is the central part of our culture. So my culture has made me who I am. And to see the whole state recognize our beautiful culture was an extraordinary moment. And I'm proud to say that people came together to support us from all backgrounds and all faiths. Jewish leaders were very excited about the Diwali school holiday, and they backed us with their full force. And leaders of every community, in the Latino community, the African American community, everybody was so excited about the Diwali holiday. And I think that's very appropriate because Hindus and Buddhists, Sikhs, and Jains, they're very all-inclusive, very multicultural, and very interfaith. So it's only appropriate that their holiday, Diwali, was really celebrated by people of every background.
And Diwali is not just a Hindu holiday or a South Asian holiday or Indo-European holiday, it's an American holiday. The message of Diwali is universal. It's all about unity, love, peace, and it's all about spreading that goodness and light over darkness. It's a beautiful message for everybody, especially in the turbulent times that we live in.
Yes, exactly right. Diwali is an American holiday. And that's what the New York State legislature has shown. In voting unanimously for my legislation, what we are saying is that Diwali is an American holiday. And now the largest school jurisdiction in the nation, New York City,
Yes.
will have a Diwali school holiday. And that's going to set a trend for the entire nation.
Over 1.1 million students in New York City public schools, largest
Yes.
school district in the nation. They're going to learn about the culture.
Yes, exactly right. New York City is a national leader, and we are leading once again.
So when do you think Governor Hochul, New York State governor, is going to sign this into law?
I will let you know. I'm sure it will be soon. I've spoken personally with the governor, and I know how excited she is about the Diwali school holiday. She's a big supporter. In fact, last year, she threw the first Diwali celebration of any New York governor. And I was honored to attend that celebration with her. So I know she really loves Diwali, understands it, and is excited about this legislation. So it's going to be an incredible moment when she signs the bill.
Yes, it will be. It's an unbelievable reality, an impossible dream coming true after decades of working to get this out. And here it is. You know, hopefully this year before Diwali, it'll be a school holiday in New York City.
Yes, it will be this year that Diwali will be a school holiday. It's like you said, it's a dream come true. It's hard for people to believe that it's actually happened. As it was happening in the legislature, some of my fellow legislators said to me, "I can't believe this is happening." You know, people were almost in tears, and that includes members of our Asian caucus. The Asian American caucus has grown exponentially over the past few years in the state assembly. And it was a very emotional moment for all of us in the state legislature, especially from Asian backgrounds.
Well, thanks to New York City Mayor EricAdams, our school chancellor, and our speaker. You know, and from the Senate, it's State Senator Joe Addabbo.
Yes, these were all key partners. Senator Addabbo shares a district with me, and he was the Senate sponsor of the legislation. And he was a tremendous partner who really understands our Indo-Caribbean and Hindu communities. He spends a lot of time there. So it was very heartwarming to see all of these leaders across our city and state really come together and speak with one voice for our legislation.
Because Diwali is about peace, unity, bonding, and here everybody bonded together to get this out.
Yes, you're exactly right. Our faith is very much about interconnectivity. In fact, Hindus believe that there's one God, Om, but that Om has many different forms.
Yeah, truth is one, sages call it by different names. That's
exactly. So Om can be Ganesha, Om can be Goddess Durga, but Om can also be Jesus. Om can be Allah. That is central to our faith. So Diwali really signifies, interfaith connectivity. And that's why it was just so appropriate for everyone from all faiths to come together and elevate our community.
And as the first Indian American woman to be elected to New York State Legislature, what other bills are you passing in the next session?
I'm doing so much. One bill that I authored that actually passed this session, right after Diwali, was a bill to set up an Asian American Commission for New York State. So New York State will have the first ever Asian Commission. And what this aims to do is bridge the gap between our government and our Asian communities. The Asian community is the fastest growing immigrant community in the nation. But this community also has experienced a spike in hate crimes. So we really need an entity at the state level that's going to focus on how to best serve the Asian American community. And that is exactly what my historic commission will do. So I'm very proud of that. I also was proud to pass legislation that will empower domestic workers. Domestic workers are mostly immigrant women and women of color. But domestic workers are the one group that did not have the same human rights protections as other groups. So my bill changed that situation. So now domestic workers will be afforded the same rights and protections as other workers. And this bill was signed into law, so it is now the law of the land. And I was so proud to be able to bring this dignity and respect to immigrant women because they deserve it. So these are some of my initiatives. And I want to also say that I'm proud to represent our culture and our background because ours is the culture that inspired Martin Luther King himself, America's greatest civil rights hero. And Martin Luther King said that India's Gandhi was the guiding light of my movement for nonviolent social change. And so I think that it is time for us as South Asian Americans, as Indian Americans, to celebrate our place in the civil rights tradition of America. We have a very important place in American history. And we are also a culture that is excellent. Just the other week, an Indian kid won the spelling bee. Almost every year, an Indian kid wins the spelling bee. And that's because as a community, we are excellent at what we do. Excellence is who we are. And now it's time to bring that excellence to American politics and American government. And that is why I am here. And I am so proud and honored to serve.
We're all very proud, and I think this is such a defining moment and such a remarkable milestone on the federal level with Congresswoman Grace Meng passing the legislation for Diwali as a federal holiday in the state. You are the one who is bringing this movement to fruition with Diwali as a school holiday in New York City schools. So it's enriching the lives at every level and brings a lot of light and love to us school children. And they will learn about Diwali, especially those who are not from this culture. They will learn so much and enrich their lives and widen their horizons about everybody else's culture and heritage.
It will be transformative for families all across the city. I can tell you that in my district here in South Queens, when we announced that Diwali would be a school holiday, when I walked into the school, all the children stood up and clapped because they are so excited that this has finally become a reality. The feeling of inclusion and inspiration that this brings, it's contagious. And I'm so looking forward to the whole city celebrating Diwali. It's going to be bigger than ever.
Yes.
I told Mayor EricAdams that Gracie Mansion won't be big enough for Diwali this year, and he's got to rent out Madison Square Garden.
Well, thank you so very much, New York State Assemblywoman Jenifer RajKumar. Congratulations to everyone, especially to you. And got this, you made it happen. History in the making, and just signing it into law by New York State Governor Hochul. And Diwali becomes a school holiday enshrined in law in New York City.
And I will see you at the bill signing.
Yes, I would love to be there. It's so gratifying to see that.
Thank you. I stand on your shoulders.
Yes.
And I'm grateful for everything you've done. And I'm honored always to be on your show.
Thank you. Thank you so much. This is such a proud moment and emotional, like a watershed moment. So thank you very much again.
Thank you.
Thank you. I'm Dr. Renee Mehrra. Stay healthy, stay positive.